9 cool cars cheaper than the new iPhone X. If you're into tech at all, I'm sure you will have seen the latest and greatest new smartphone, the iPhone X. With an asking price of $1,000 in the USA and £1,000 in the UK, you've never been able to spend more on a mainstream mobile phone. With that in mind, it's now become so expensive that you can purchase an actual car for the same price, even a fun car. Here are 9 cars you can buy for the price of an iPhone X. Number 1. Jeep Grand Cherokee. If you want to buy a slab of glass and metal, you're going to get a lot more of it for your money with the Jeep Grand Cherokee than the iPhone. Sure, it may not be as smart, clean-cut, or downright slick as an iPhone, but the Jeep Cherokee is pretty much bulletproof. For this price, you can get a fairly clean 93,000-mile example, complete with a beastie 4-litre 6-cylinder engine. If you're buying in dollars, you might be slightly more pushed for options. However, if you are willing to stretch the mileage, you can still get a 193 horsepower 4-wheel drive beater for this price. Number 2. Mazda Miata or MX-5. I'm sure you guys were expecting this, so I may as well get it out the way in number 2. The Mark 1 MX-5 provides more enjoyment than any of the latest apps for sure. With a peppy 1.6 engine, rear-wheel drive, and one of the slickest gearboxes around. Granted, $1,000 on both sides of the pond is going to get you something on the rougher end, but beaters are usually more fun anyway, right? In the UK, you might even be able to get an NB for this price, which nowadays should prove slightly more reliable. Miatas do have a tendency to develop structural rust over time, so watch out for this. Still, even if your car lasts a few months, that's money well spent, surely. Number 3. Volvo 240. It's hard not to love classic Volvos, although at this price I'm sure you can find a few painful reasons not to. That being said, $1,000 will get you a rear-wheel drive wagon or sedan, and if you're lucky, a manual box. The 240 ain't exactly sporty, but with a few budget mods you can make it a cool project car. Unluckily for American viewers, you are likely to receive the rather hideously looking US spec regulation headlights. Number 4. Dodge Caravan. Okay, hear me out on this one. Yes, it's a minivan, but with an asking price from just $700, you can have a lot of fun for the money. Yes, it's also front-wheel drive, but with space for 6 people, you can carry all of your friends about. With the seats removed, the Dodge Caravan makes the perfect campervan too, and as they are cheap and extremely common, $1,000 should be more than enough. Granted, the 4-speed autobox is terrible, and you will probably become the laughingstock at the car festival, but when everyone else is sleeping in their tents, you will have a nice warm campervan. Number 5. Citroen Saxo VTS. I'm afraid if you're American, you will have to look at eBay UK and weep. For everyone else though, the Saxo VTS is an awesome choice. If you can forget the cringeworthy boy racer days of the 90s and early 2000s, a clean example will get you a keen chassis, a buzzy 1.6-litre 16-valve engine, and a driving position so low that many sports cars should be worried. Right from when they were first sold, the Saxo was a cheap car, so don't expect anything quality, but its French looks have aged very well and it will be a fun and economical daily driver. Number 6. Saab 9-3. There aren't many cars out there that provoke the same kind of reaction amongst enthusiasts than a Saab. Despite the Swedish brand losing its way throughout the 2000s with some rather disappointing GM reskins, the 9-3 is still a cool choice. If you're considering buying one, however, make sure to consider that Saab are no longer producing vehicles, so getting spare parts could prove challenging. But as the floor plan is shared with GM, this should make things a little bit easier. What would you rather own, a boring new phone or a timeless Swedish brick? Number 7. Lincoln Town Car. If you've got a 6-year-old kid to draw a car, chances are it would come out looking something like this. Still, it wouldn't be the most popular choice for taxi drivers for no reason. Notable for its famous service in New York City, Lincoln Town Cars often pass the 200,000-mile mark around, well, the town. Town and city driving can be extremely punishing on the car, so this proves its worth somewhat if it's still running. That being said, watch out for cars that have been in active taxi duty, as they are likely to have been treated hard. $1,000 will get you a worn Mark III generation or a slightly better Mark II, which was first released in 1990. UK and Euro buyers, sorry, you're not going to be able to get this one. Number 8. Toyota Celica. Bearing little resemblance to the Celica of the 70s, the 7th gen Celica is often overlooked by potential budget buyers. It's wrong to do so, however. With sharp styling and a choice of a 140 horsepower and 189 horsepower engine, the Celica makes a great first or second car. The Celica also has true rallying heritage too, with the Group B Celica twin-cam turbo winning all 6 World Rally Championship events Toyota entered. By the time this generation came around, it was a distant memory, however. Its wedge-shaped looks and light weight still makes it look rather an appealing proposition. The Celica also has plenty of interior space, great build quality and reasonable economy, perfect as a first or second car. Number 9. BMW E39 5 Series. There still aren't many cars around today that are as well-rounded and easy to live with than the E39 5 Series. With its 50-50 weight distribution, fun-to-drive nature and effortless comfort, the 5 Series is more user-friendly than any iPhone will ever be. It's astonishing that you can get this car for the same price. Your options will be fairly limited though, with 520i models being the most readily available. 6-cylinder 523i models could be within reach, although I would recommend getting the lower-powered model with a manual gearbox. If you're American, you might struggle getting anything decent for under $1,000, but for anyone in the UK, there are plenty of clean cars out there for the money. BMW really pushed the limits of technology with this 5 Series, which on a positive note makes it feel fairly modern to drive. On a negative note, however, this often means that the E39 and E46 3 Series are plagued with electrical gremlins. Still, this car is the real deal, especially if you can get a granddad spec, one-owner car. So there you are. What cars should I have included? Would you get the iPhone or one of these cars instead? Let me know in the comments below. I reply to everyone in the first 12 hours. Cheers!